What's going on, guys? So today is probably going to also be the last day that I ride for the season, because it's already getting to the point where it's already almost a little too chilly to be out riding anymore, and I don't have any cold riding gear. And so this is going to be my last video as well for the year. I know I've only put up a few so far, and I apologize for the gap between videos, but you know how things go. Life happens, things happen, and you got to deal with it. But so today we're going to finally talk about the 5 things that I do not particularly like about the 2022 Indian Scout Rogue. Now, I will say a couple of things are probably going to be reiterations of what I've said before in other videos, but at the same time, there are also minor things that aren't too bad. So, jumping right into it, I'm going to first off talk about, like I've mentioned it several times before, the seat. Now, the seat, it is fairly comfortable to start off on, and it'll last you a good maybe an hour and a half before your butt starts to hurt. But I mean, if you want to go on a long ride, which is something you'd probably want to end up doing on a bike like this, is long riding, it's not particularly the best bike. But if you're out just for, you know, just like a little cruise like what I'm doing here today, or what I usually do, then yeah, the seat, it's alright. But if you want to go anywhere beyond that hour and a half, or if you're going somewhere that's not particularly an hour and a half away, but it takes you that long to get there because of traffic, or you know, because the little back roads or whatever that you're taking, then I would highly suggest looking for something better. I know, who was it? Not Saddlemen. I haven't seen that Saddlemen seat has a seat for this yet, but I think Mustang Seats has something. Obviously the Indian dealership website has something with the same style seat that comes on it, but that's a little bit thicker padding. But at the same time, if you're also going to go that route, if you also want to buy a back seat and all that, I would highly suggest going with something that has the combo seat, because honestly, you're going to be paying the same price if you buy the combo seat as you would if you were to just buy the main seat itself. And then if you were to decide later on that you wanted to buy the rear seat as well, it's going to cost you another almost $300. So for $400 to $500, I would strongly suggest going with the combo seat, or the seat rack support combo. It'd definitely be the best bet for you. The second thing is, I'm not particularly fond of the fact that this doesn't have a fuel gauge, because now obviously if you're going and you're cruising like in town, the stop and go traffic, you're not going to get as much fuel mileage as it is. And then so you're constantly, if you're like someone like me who likes to have the gauge on RPMs so you can watch your RPMs or whatever, then you're constantly having to flip through the switch just to get back to your trip mileage, to constantly check how far you go. And at the same time, also, you're obviously going to get a lot less fuel mileage in town, and trying to guesstimate when you're going to have the fuel up if you're just doing a bunch of in-town riding compared to like these cruises and everything, where you're going to get up to 150, 160 something miles in the constant, you know, almost 60 mile an hour zones or whatever it is. You're going to end up getting the light on roughly about 100, I would say about 90 miles, because last time I had a light come on was at 89 miles. from a bunch of in-town driving, so you're not getting a very good range with in-town riding, and it's kind of frustrating not being able to see where your fuel level's at and having to constantly, like I said, just flip to your trip meter and guess how much farther you have to go till you're empty or you need to fill up. And it's, for me, it's just one of those things that it'd be nice if they had something that tells you your fuel level. It doesn't matter if it was just something that's like stuck on the tank or something that like just plugged in, I don't know, but it would definitely, for me, it'd be something that would be most effective, I guess you could say. But I mean, I'm sure they have something, but you're looking at the problem with, now this is going to kind of jump into the third thing that I don't like about this, is that you may end up having to splice into the wiring harness, and from what I was told, that could void your warranty. And I found that out because jumping into number 3 was I was trying to get an electronic Indian brand cruise control for this, and they told me that they can get one, but that there would be no warranty afterwards because splicing into the wiring harness voids that warranty, which is a big letdown because the warranty, it's a great warranty, lifetime warranty. Sorry. I don't know why I downshifted, but okay. But the lifetime warranty is a great thing to have and all, but it really sucks when you have to worry about that when you're wanting something like a fuel gauge or a tachometer or something external that needs to be wired in, like the cruise control and all that. It's a real big letdown. Now, they do make, obviously, aftermarket universal cruise control parts, like the ones, like what I have here is a little paddle, but I've mentioned in a video before that this paddle doesn't function the best. You set it and then you take your hand off the handle and it backs off a couple miles. There's been a couple times, like earlier today, I set it and it backed off like 10 miles, and it's like, it's not really the best, you know. They also have the ones where you can take the handle off, slide it off, and they have the ones that slide in over the throttle tube or under the throttle tube, whichever it is, and it has the little X and check mark and whatnot. That's supposed to be better than this, but I'd honestly rather have that electronic thing because it looks better with the bike being designed for this make bike. But I guess it's, oh look, a dog. Hopefully that dog's not lost. A little herding dog. But I mean, I guess it all depends on the rider and how they feel about it. I personally would rather have the actual brand cruise control, and wish it wouldn't void things. Number 4. Jeez. Option number 4. Now, it's not a big thing if you're out just cruising around, such as, again, like I am right now. But if you're in the stop and go traffic in town and what have you, then it's a little, I guess you could say, a little irritating when you come to a red light or a stop or something and you go to put your legs down. The right side particularly, because that's where the exhaust is, the head of the engine is farther over to the right side than it is on the left side. Like, it doesn't protrude as far over on the left side as it does on the right side. So you get the heat from the exhaust on your lower part of your leg, and then you get the heat from the head and your upper thigh area. And if you're in a place where it's like, because we have definitely some lights in our town where they don't register bikes very well, so you could be sitting there for, I don't know, 2-3 cycles or something. But then by that time, I mean, legally you can go through it by that point, if justifiable amount of time. But if you're having to sit there for that long period of time, it gets hot and it gets a little bit bothersome. And one time, I swear, I felt it. I felt it burning my leg, but at the same time, I also smelled the burning of my pants. It did kind of burn my jeans a little bit. Didn't burn a hole through, but it did start, you know, smoldering a little bit. So it's just something to look out for if you decide to get this bike and you do end up having to do a bunch of that in-town driving back and forth or stop and go. Just be wary of that. Maybe get something to make like a heat shield or something, especially in the upper thigh area. It's not so bothersome down by the exhaust. I mean, you can move your leg out more, but you can't really do anything about the area up in your upper thigh, crotch area almost. But yeah, again, just be wary of that. Maybe try to find something that can be used as a heat shield, but don't let that deter you from, you know, just enjoying the ride when you are riding and not stopped everywhere. So item number 5, if I can remember what I had on here, was the lack of storage on the bike. Now, most bikes, they have a little compartment under the seat or somewhere, or what have you. There's always some kind of little storage place where you can keep like your tools, or, you know, in case you break down or you need to fix something or adjust your springs if you're out riding or something and you excuse me. There's not really anywhere for you to keep that, like your insurance papers or nothing. There's nowhere for you to keep that. So hopefully, if you decide to get this bike, you're one of those people that, I'm not doing it today because this is just supposed to be a quick ride, and then I'm putting my bike up for the season in storage. But I normally always have a bag of some sort, like a little backpack or something. So if you're gonna ride around on this bike, make sure you have some kind of storage bag or what have you, so that you can have somewhere to keep all that information, your registration, your insurance, what have you, in your little toolkit, because it's not very, what's the word? It's not very helpful to not have somewhere to put that stuff, you know, because you always run that risk, because wherever you go, you never know what's going to happen, and it's always that risk that you're going to need something to fix your bike or what have you. But just keep that in mind, to definitely bring something. So that's the end of this video. Again, it's some minor things. I would consider maybe that the heat problem maybe a bit more of a intermediate problem than a minor or major problem. Other than that, I hope you guys do enjoy the videos, and I hope you guys do, if you decide to go and ride one of these or buy one of these 2022 Indian Scout Rogues, I highly hope you guys enjoy the heck out of it. And I hope you guys just have fun on them, because this is a very nice bike, and despite the very few problems, it took me, I will not lie, it took me a couple days just to come up even with those 5 things that I did not like about this bike. So it just goes to show that this bike is fairly well made and fairly well built for the commuter that's riding them. And it's very well styled, it's very sleek, and I just love the crap out of mine. So I hope you guys go out, I hope you guys do get the opportunity to ride one of these or buy one of these and just enjoy the hell out of it, man. But that's it for me for right now. I'll catch you guys later, so go out there, stay safe, have fun riding, and stay free, and I'll catch you guys later.